Ladies, today I'm going to share with you how a negative body image might make you feel stuck and how it might stop you from getting the results that you truly desire and deserve. So this is pretty much a 5-step system that you can start implementing today so you can create a more positive body image, which in turn will help you to get on track so you get to achieve your goals. Now, obviously, none of us are walking around during the day thinking, oh, my body image is really bad. No. I think all of us have an element of negative body image that we need to work on. So it all comes down to having this self-awareness in knowing what's going on in our minds and having the tools to change a negative body image for the better. So let's start with step 1, and it's all about your thoughts. So let me share a key fact with you. We actually have 80,000 thoughts every single day. That's pretty crazy, right? But if we have 80,000 thoughts a day, you can only imagine how few of these thoughts we're actually aware of and how many are just running wild through our minds that we not even know of. So step 1 is to really spend some time creating self-awareness around negative thought patterns. So I would spend a whole day just with the intention to pay attention what you're telling yourself all day long. And I want you to come up with the top 5 negative thought patterns that you've identified. So at the end of the day, I want you to write these down on paper, and then I want you to think of what you want to think instead. So write these 5 things that you want to think instead down on paper as well. So your task is from now on moving forward that every time one of these thought patterns come up, you're immediately going to replace it with the one you want to think instead. So again, it all comes down to creating more self-awareness around your thoughts, and the more often you can replace the negative one with a positive one, the stronger and more powerful it's going to be, and the quicker you're going to have an impact and create a more positive body image. Now, that was step 1. Step 2 is a little challenge for you, and it is the mirror challenge. Have you ever noticed that whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, you tend to pick on what you don't like about yourself? You tend to look at the body parts that you don't like, that you feel like need to change. Now, I want you to imagine you meeting up with your best friend, and your best friend is looking in the mirror and she's picking on her stomach fat. She's telling you she's got all this cellulite, and I wonder what you would tell her. You would tell her that she looks beautiful, that her legs look amazing, that she has a beautiful face, things like that. So I wonder whether you can do the same for yourself. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and just be a little kinder to yourself? The challenge here is I want you to pick 3 body parts that you like about yourself. And I want you, every time you look at the mirror from now on moving forward, to point these 3 body parts out. This is also like training a muscle. The more often you do this, the more your focus will change and the more positive things you will find about yourself in your thoughts and in the mirror. So just really practice identifying the things that you like about yourself. And from now on moving forward, make sure you always do this. So if your focus changes back to the body parts that you don't like, make sure to point out what you do like and love about yourself. Now, step 3 is also a little challenge, and I challenge you to take 24 hours off social media And this is in order to escape the comparison trap. You might have noticed, or you might have not noticed, but when we constantly scroll through social media, we tend to focus on the people and things that we don't have. So it creates a constant lack within ourselves. And when it comes down to aesthetics and bodies, we tend to also always focus on what we want and what we don't have. Now, when you take 24 hours of social media, I want you to really think about how truthful all these images actually are. Because what you see in these images might be a quarter of the reality. So say if there's a beautiful woman with the perfect body, this woman might be under eating, she might not be looking after herself, she might be taking unhealthy measures to get there, and she also might be completely unhappy. So what are you really comparing yourself to? You don't know anything about most of these women, people, things, so I want you to really take a step back. Think about who's actually truly inspiring you for you and who you might unfollow because it's just not serving you anymore, just bringing out that lack and not inspiration. So take 24 hours of social media and just tune in with your body and your thoughts, see how you feel, and then once you get back on, maybe there's a few people you may want to unfollow. And then step number 4, judgment. It is so easy to constantly judge ourselves, why we're not better, why we haven't done this and that. So step 4 is to stop judging yourself. If I was to ask you how judging yourself is serving you, you'd probably be answering not at all. So this again comes down to creating self-awareness, how you talk to yourself on a daily basis and what you're actually judging yourself for. This is another muscle that needs to be trained. It's the same as self-acceptance, the same as creating more positive thought patterns around yourself. The whole judgment thing is another thing that you need to train yourself to recognize and then to choose what you want to believe about yourself instead, or what you want to tell yourself instead. So step number 5 is all about creating the future you, the future vision of yourself. The more you tune into how it feels to create that person you want to be, the more powerful it's going to be, the more motivated you're going to be, but also the more you tap into how that future you is feeling about herself, what she's telling herself, how she's treating herself, the quicker you're going to create a more positive body image. So I hope that these 5 steps have helped you to identify where your body image is currently at, but most importantly are giving you the tools to create a more positive body image and a better version of yourself.